When the suspect is smarter than the detective. The local police received reports of an armed robbery, but the suspect was nowhere to be found. After broadening the search, cops likely heard a noise in a nearby house. The heroin addict was inside with a gun when they stormed in without any leads. Without evidence, they arrested and questioned the man. Jeff Pearson, the robber, was an addict. One of the only occasions a man beat the police, despite suffering horrible heroin withdrawals, is recorded. This happens when the suspect outwits the police. Police cameras in the interview room captured the next 24 hours. However, unlike other such material, it was published to the suspect's YouTube account on September 25, 2011. Jeff's cult status and interrogation legend began with this. Jeff was detained for almost a day, although the film of his 3 interrogations only lasted 15 minutes. A typical minimum punishment for robbery and arrest in Georgia is 10 years, with a maximum of life without parole. Eventually, Jeff didn't do a minute of this. He spent a day being offered drinks and candies, while teaching police custody protocol instead of serving decades in prison. The next clip shows us in breathtaking detail how the police will try to catch you and how to dodge them like an expert. The video begins with Jeff handcuffed in a windowless chamber in prison scrubs. He was likely processed and held in a cell while the police gathered evidence and prepared to question him. Am I under arrest? For now, I'm under arrest. Yeah, I'll explain everything before I talk. Before I explain myself to you, before we talk to each other, I need to read your rights. Okay. What am I going to write for? I need to read your rights first. Robbery is the charge. Jeff instantly asks whether he's arrested and why. Jeff has done his research from the start, as you should in this case. 2 choices remain. If you're not being arrested or imprisoned, you can say you're not required to answer questions and can leave the questioning. If arrested, ask for a lawyer and stay silent until you get one. These solutions provide you the best chance of halting the cops and creating the best defense. Interestingly, American arresting officers are legally required to remind you of this. Listen to this. Detective read Jeff's Miranda warning. You can keep silent. Courts will use anything you say against you. You can consult a lawyer before we question you. You will be given a lawyer if you cannot afford one. If you answer questions without a lawyer, you can stop at any time. Makes sense. You've probably heard these before, haven't you? Due to the fear of being arrested, most people neglect these 3 crucial elements. Because we hear these lines so often in police shows and movies, most people ignore these rights when they read them and fail to realize that they're being given useful information to keep them safe and protected in police custody. However, this detective failed to add that if you ask for a lawyer while under arrest, they cannot continue interrogating, and you have a complete right to refuse to answer any questions until you have counsel. The investigator closes the rights with a nasty remark about Jeff's past to unconsciously remind him he was guilty. Do you understand your rights? Are you aware of your rights, Jeff? Yes or no? Do you comprehend? Man, we're paid more than you, so we can sit here for a while. No doubt you asked yesterday, understand your rights? Proceed to that question. Do you comprehend my reading? Did you understand my reading? Jeff is staying silent because he's been told he can. The top detective reclines in his chair. This was meant to demonstrate that he's unconcerned about Jeff's quiet and can stay as long as needed. Although body language like this normally suggests restlessness, this will be a difficult few hours for them, and the detective knows it. If you got something that says you didn't do this robbery, this is your chance to talk to us. Okay. Good job. Usually, I'm the prick. You look like the prick. I am. Dominance-wise, Jeff put everything the police had in that garbage bin, not asking whether you want to chat with me. Was what I read to you understood? Only that. Am I under arrest? Yes, you're under arrest. I'm returning to the show. We don't talk. In the first round of interrogation, Jeff behaved appropriately considering his situation. He stays quiet since he knows the police have nothing on him. They wouldn't be talking to him. So he returns to his cell. 2 hours later, he's back in the same room for round 2. You wanted a Coke. Yeah. You gonna pop it open? Or do you need me too? I need methadone. You need methadone. I don't have any. Do you have medication for it? Or I mean a prescription for it? I need methadone because I'm a junkie and you guys. I'll experience withdrawals soon. Jeff only wanted a can of soda before returning to the interrogation room, but he quickly emphasized his inevitable withdrawals. Methadone which Jeff requested at the start of this talk, can dramatically minimize withdrawal symptoms. It may lessen his cravings throughout his time in police custody. How long have you been using heroin? Long time, buddy. 10 years? 15 years? I have hardly been alive that long. What are you trying to talk to me about here? Talk to you about what happened last night. Look, here's the deal. Either you're in a bad set of circumstances, or you went and committed an armed robbery last night. Yes, I'm in the wrong place at the wrong moment. I didn't conduct armed robbery. All right, then let's talk about this. I don't talk to the police, man. Jeff is done talking about himself and wants to get back to work. He feels wrongfully arrested and wants to go immediately. Okay, I've been through the system, but you're just trying to extract a foolish confession, which you won't get. Jeff, I'm not going to get a confession out of you for nothing. Exactly, because I know I'm trying to get a confession out of you. Okay, I won't commit armed robbery, and you have no proof to prove it. Let me go. You just found me sitting in my friend's house because his dog is going ape. Police surround me outside and spotlight me. They said, "Come here." What's up? I was searched but found nothing. Let me read this. No. Yes, because I'm not gonna sign it. You don't have to sign it. So let me read it for you. Okay, I won't sign. You don't have to sign it. The absurdity of this cop declaring he's not after Jeff while handcuffed and questioning him in an interrogation chamber is hilarious. Despite this, Jeff's words are so precise they sound prepared. It's a remarkable personal legal defense, especially since Jeff is likely withdrawing. I want to emphasize Jeff's point that police are trying to coerce a confession. These interrogations use the Reed technique, created by a former cop and psychologist in the 1960s to get a man accused of murdering his wife to confess. The 9-step strategy begins with a polite discussion of why the suspect is being charged, then uses body language and behaviors to show guilt during the questioning. The suspect is given 2 alternative statements to agree with, one of which is marginally more acceptable. Whatever is chosen confesses guilt and is a confession. It corners the suspect and is to reduce their willingness to defend themselves. This method can help catch criminals, but it can also lead to innocent persons confessing and erroneous convictions. Jeff, who has had his share of legal issues, knows this and refuses to give the cops any further information. I'm not going to force a confession. Look at the situation. You're getting a raw deal. You have no evidence. Talk about this. Do you want to deny it? I didn't do it. Jeff is again direct. Any reasonable judge would recognize the police have no proof linking him to the crime. After refusing to sign again, he's sent back to his cell for 2 hours before the third and last interrogation. This time, the investigators are making sure Jeff knows the consequences if he doesn't comply. I have your criminal history here. Okay. It's long. I already know that. Let me read it to you. No, I'm not trying to be __. Just stating I won't listen to you read it. Okay. Fair enough. I'm here to talk about this. Jeff insists he knows what's being asked and that he won't listen to the officer's ideas or past. He's only talking about his arrest for armed robbery. You told me you were walking down the street. They highlighted you, and she wrote nothing else. Yep. Do you get the wrong guy? I didn't commit any armed robbery. Do you think you just had the bad __? Luck of being in the wrong place at the wrong time? Obviously. If the time and location were right, I wouldn't be in this chair. Jeff stays innocent by sticking to his story. He's done this enough to know what to say and what not to say. Do you want to talk to me, or do you want to go back to your cell? I'm already knowing that you're not going to release me. I can't release you. Exactly. I can't. Exactly. We need to chat for what? The police realize they can't reach Jeff. He won't give in because their strategies failed. We're waiting, and the police are running out of time. Jeff is returned to his cell, and the police release him the next day. Jeff Pearson outwitted the police, refused to answer questions, and escaped. Did you like it? Tell us what you think of the video in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting videos.